From the Bakersfield Californian, this is the Renegade Report.
Now the host with the most, Francis Mayer.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Renegade Report. I'm your host, Francis Mayer, Sports Information Director for the greatest athletic department in the known universe, your BC Athletics. We've been around for 95 years, stacking up 170 conference championships, 11 national championships, and about 15 state titles, because that's just what we do. Today, we have a coach who has quickly become one of my favorites. In just 2 seasons, he has reinvigorated the Bakersfield College tennis program, not just on the men's side, Coach Nick Jacobs. And we're going to talk to some of the men's tennis players today, but also on the women's side.
Yep.
You did some recruiting over there.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work? You are a high-pressure salesman, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
When Coach Jacobs wants you to do something, you know it. But how do you recruit them? What do you tell them?
Pretty much, I mean, which is, at least for the area we're in, I try to go out. It's hard for me to go out to the league matches because they're kind of all spread out. But what I try and do is I try to make it a point on my calendar to go out to the league tournaments and then the area tournament in Valley, because there's like the 3 big ones that, you know, we have a lot of high school representation from. And I just go out to them like, look, you know, if you guys are going to BC, you know, we're right here. You know, tennis program's been around forever. You can become part of something big and just keep it going and not just sell some on it, because a lot of them we get, they just don't know what they want to do, or they're just like, I'll come for a year, and then after the year, like, I want to stay another year. I'm like, well, there you go. We'll have you for 2 years. So it's just a cycle that keeps on going.
And Brian, we've had you for 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And you're all done after this.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I wish that I had another year, because I'd probably be staying at BC for maybe another year.
Academically?
Yeah, academically wise. So it's been a lot of fun. You know, I've met all my teammates, and we've all bonded really, really well. And like it's just good fun. Like, you know, like I said, like it's the greatest time of your life. You know, you're playing tennis in beautiful cities and beautiful courts and everything. So I mean, you can't get much better than that.
No, and it's also an affordable way to live in California. I mean, pretty much any other place that you live in the state, if it's going to have weather where it's sunny and not gross, and it's not Stockton, it's Bakersfield. And there's nothing against Stockton, lovely port, but Bakersfield is special. We're close to Southern California, and like you said, you get to play tennis in a lot of beautiful places, not the least of which being Ojai. And Coach Jacobs, that is a special tournament because you've got a lot of people there, right?
Oh, yeah. We actually qualified. Well, last year, we actually qualified the same amount of people, but what's different about it this year is we actually have singles players. Last year, because our conference is by far the toughest conference even to get out of. In general, and people don't.
Schwartz is over there rolling his eyes, but we'll kick his butt in the next break.
Oh, yeah. Do whatever you want to him.
He needs it.
He does. But no, in general, our conference is the toughest conference in California. As we actually on our side had a lot of good upsets. Brian, when the draw came out, he was scheduled to play in the number 9 seed. He was the one from LA Pierce.
Was he good?
They were a little down this year, but last year that guy was the number 3, 4 off and on, and I looked at that draw. I'm like, Ryan's got a little dream draw. I'm like, he can play well and steady. He can beat that guy. The guy's not anything special. It's just you gotta make more balls in the court. And at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Doesn't matter if you can hit the ball hard or, you know, look like I don't know, Djokovic or Madonna out there. It doesn't really matter. You can make 6 balls and the guy makes 5, then you're gonna win those majority points every time.
Right, and actually DeFreeze on the women's side is kind of like that.
Oh yeah,
I watch her play and I'm like, when is she gonna get mad? Like, when is she really gonna show some vigor out there? She doesn't have to.
Oh no, like the good thing about Kaylee is she's just always even steady. I mean, sometimes she get a little irritated, but I mean, she's not like very verbal to where she has a pretty good poker face to where
just like the number 1 on that team.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can never tell what she's thinking.
Oh no.
We need to make a new penalty in tennis called thigh abuse because, boy, God, man, she'll give herself a well. Great player, though. Anyway, moving along.
Yep.
But DeFreeze, yes, great poker face. But Yanez, you don't have poker hair. Do you ever find that it overwhelms your opponent, that they just want to drop the racket in shame, that they don't have a place on the court with you?
No, never.
Okay, it's going to happen at some point.
I don't know. We'll see.
Especially when you're in your 40s playing on the country club circuit. You know, it happens to the best of us, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right, man.
I'm fine with it.
Oh,
that's why I'm wearing a hat.
As long as you're okay with it, then that's all that matters.
Most impressively, though, and we'll talk about your tennis play, but more on this hair. It doesn't. Do you use a lot of product in it, or does it just have tons of body? Because it doesn't move when you're playing. I know that headband's there for looks.
No, well, if I don't wear the headband, it gets in my I get to my eyes.
It will fall down.
Yeah, but I mean,
has anyone witnessed this before? No.
Yeah,
okay.
No. Yeah, I mean, I do use quite a bit of product, but I mean, yeah.
You should, man. God, if you got it, go for it.
Yeah.
Because it won't last forever. Well, you're saying it might. How do you feel about your chances at Ojai? Are you playing? Are you going for broke? Do you feel like this is the end of collegiate tennis for you? Or are you going to go on and play at the next level? Do you hope to?
I would love to go on and play more tennis as much as I can. After this year, I want to focus on getting my A and kind of getting out. I'm obviously still going to play tennis outside of school, trying to play as much tournaments as I can. But as far as Ojai goes, I think me and Swartz have a pretty decent chance of going deep. You know, we just got to play decent doubles. You know, that's what it comes down to. Like we can't be flashy. Can't expect to just go out and blow people out of the water, because everyone that you're going to play there is going to be solid. They can get the ball back.
Do you remember in high school athletics, and this is the thing that I told my buddies from high school, was in high school you would play somebody like, I don't know, a couple times a month, or I would wrestle someone who wasn't very good, who was on the wrestling team because they wanted to be in a sport, and they would get beat up. And frankly, it probably wasn't good for their health or self-esteem. But once you get up to this level, the amount of time that it takes that you guys spend, not just on the court and training, but in the classroom, this is not a hobby for you. Like, this is a lot of time that goes into this, isn't it? Or is it a hobby?
Yeah. I mean, I think at first it was when I was little, definitely.
But now, at the college.
Yeah, I think now definitely at the collegiate level, and especially if you're looking to go to play on at other schools like D2, D1, even D3 schools, like, yeah, it's a tremendous amount of work. I mean, you're playing probably 5 to almost every day a week. You know, you're on the court, you're training, whatever, on the court, drilling 2 or 3 hours a day, and then you're hitting the gym after that, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then
you have to pass classes.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing. I have to pass classes too, so yeah, it's extremely difficult. I mean, that's for any sport too. You know, if you want to take that seriously.
No, absolutely, yeah, and we have. So, well, starting in the fall, we'll have 20 sports, 500 athletes in season, and it is no small undertaking. A lot of work goes into it. You guys travel a lot. You're on the road. You have equipment costs, and you, of course, have product costs. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to account for and fund there. And Coach Jacobs, second year in a row that we've had the tennis fundraiser. How is that going? Do you feel like you're making more relationships in the community? Are people digging what we're doing at BC?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like at least compared to other areas that I've noticed, like with some colleges I've been talking to, like some have issues with funding. You know, that's obviously their problem, but I've just getting to talk to them. The good thing about Kern County in general, it's a big tennis town, all the way from Bakersfield to Wasco, Delano. Everybody plays.
It's good.
And
we have
everybody,
good weather.
and the thing is, if someone's even going to go play remotely close to a college, it's either BC or it's Taft. I mean, there's no others. And Taft, unfortunately, they don't have football or tennis. So a lot of times we get those players that kind of shuffling over here, and it just kind of feeds us into fundraisers because everyone always wants to support the local tennis, which is with some of these programs that kind of come up and gone because they, not that I'm opposed to recruiting foreigners. I mean, they want to come and they want an opportunity, that's fine. But what I stick with is I try to get as many local players as I can, and then if 1 or 2, international students decide that they want to come and they want to be a part of it, then that's fine.
Well,
but I always do. But my thing is I give priority, to the local athletes first.
Well, and you should, because, I mean, and I'm not going to point to any particular nationalities, but some of the schools we go to, I mean, we have Christian and his made-up last name.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes when you're calling in scores, I got 8 that you're giving me, and then I'm like, what? Is that a first name or a last name?
Yeah.
These guys are clearly recruiting out of the country.
Yep.
And that's fine, but
Wow.
the way you're doing it is sticking with the ethos of the department to be the Kern County All-Stars. We're pretty well represented. We have a lot of different high schools represented in tennis and obviously in the rest of the sports, and that makes it more fun to watch. People are crazy about high school sports here, and you get to see your favorites competing at the next level at Bakersfield College. Last season, the women's team, they didn't win much at all.
It was pretty ugly.
It was very difficult.
Yeah, very
Loudermilk
good, yeah.
comes in, the recruits come in. Your men's team, second season in a row, doing interesting things and qualifying for postseason play. It seems like we could only build from here.
Exactly. No, and as far as the outlook for next year, my top 6 graduating. I'm getting some guys that can play. It'll be a rebuilding year for sure. But like I said, they're all going to work hard, and what I tell my team the whole time, what they put in the offseason to practice, what they're going to get in the match. If they don't give their full effort, then they're not going to win a match. I mean, it's just plain cut and dry.
Have you seen that? Has that been the case for you? Have you? Did you work more now than you did in high school?
Yeah, I think definitely a lot more because and I think more of it is also like outside of practice too, because I had a realization, like, 'cause even last year I was like expecting to go in. I knew it was gonna be tough, and it like ended up being a lot more difficult than I thought it was gonna be.
Like lasting through the matches, or
no, I think just the overall like matches in general. And
Yeah, like
so
the caliber of players.
yeah, like I mean, and then that's just how it is. So I mean, even like this last summer, I tried to work hard, tried to drill myself a little more, kind of just dial myself in, and definitely at practice, like everyone wants to have fun time at practice, which is and gets a good vibe going. But at the end of the day, also you have to be able to be willing to work, and try to like just fine tune your craft.
Right, and the thing is if you don't put in that work, and it is fun to have fun in practice, but it's not fun to get your ass kicked on the home court.
No,
or run into somebody who's just better than you.
Yeah.
And you guys are in an individual sport. Where you're squaring off against another person, and it's one of those conflict sports. On team sports, and they're wonderful. I love every type of sport. I'll watch anything with a score. I'll watch a Little League game if the kids have heart. But in these conflict sports, like it's you against another person, and there's really nowhere to hide. And if you didn't take care of yourself during the week, if you didn't pay attention to nutrition, if you didn't get enough rest, if you didn't go and get treatment, if you're dealing with an injury, then it's going to show up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to have anywhere to hide. I know there's a lot of tennis support in the community. Next season, I think we would like to see more people come out and watch these matches and get to know these players, because it's been fun to watch you guys over 2 years, watch you develop and see where the program's gone. And there's been a lot of improvement, and I know it doesn't go unnoticed internally. So it's outstanding. We're going to take a break right now, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk to Christian and Schwartz and find out how they feel about the season and how they feel about Ojai. We're also going to try to get them to make some predictions about where they'll finish. That much, and these guys, they're killing me over here. We'll be right back.